Let's talk to Paul Wallace. He is the trading coach and founder of London Traders Network and a very popular man who always sends too many slides. But they're always thought-provoking and therefore we like that. Right, Paul, we've got 9 to whiz through today, okay? The timestamp starts now. Without further ado, let's go straight to the first headline. Dolla, holla, time for a dollar pause.
Right, so the last couple of times I've been on here, Moose, I've talked about geopolitical events and I've talked about the strength of the dollar, and we've discussed that quite significantly. We've also, the sort of knock-on of that has been emerging market pain, okay? So, that dollar strength has meant that the BRICS have been thrown through the window.
Yep.
But I actually think against the majors, we might take a little bit of a pause against the dollar, and I thought I'd describe that in the charts for you.
We look forward to it. Let's kick on then.
All right, so this is a dollar index, okay? So, as I said, we've been here the last couple of months, we've talked about it, and we've had a great tear in the dollar.
Yep.
Rallied up to sort of 95, and this is a weekly chart, so I would caveat it that this candle hasn't completed yet. But where it's complete like that is a very bearish candle. I'd be looking at that as an evening star formation, okay? Which
on
is
a weekly chart, which is bearish.
Which is bearish, but I actually think what might happen is we might kind of drift back down to that. That's a 20-period moving average there, the blue one there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we drifted down towards there. And then actually once we're there, that might give us the sort of the right shoulder of an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So I'll be waiting to see if that plays out like that, then I'll be getting ready to go long dollar again.
Okay, so a pullback, nothing too sinister.
Yeah, nothing too sinister. That's what I look at, today.
Understood. Okay, let's move on to the euro dollar.
And basically what we're seeing is, not surprisingly, okay, is a flip, is a reverse of that on the euro dollar. Okay, we've had, if that was to complete as a bullish candle today, I would see that as a morning star on the weekly, which is a kind of, it's a bullish formation. And once again, I'd be expecting euro dollar to maybe drift back up to around about the 120 level. And then I'd be interested to see how does the price action work then? Is that going to form the right shoulder of a head and shoulders pattern, which would then indicate more dollar strength and euro weakness? So it's that's the scenario that I have in my mind, and of course we'll see how price plays out.
Understood. Okay, well let's talk about Brazil.
Yeah. Well, I think if you look across the dollar against all of those majors, all right, I think it's taking a little bit of a pause at the moment. But when we look at those emerging market currencies, there's no other way to put it. They've been battered the last couple of months, all right, and I'm sure you have wonderful fundamental guys who come in and can talk all the reasons why. But when I look at that, that's just plain as day giving us an insight into complete dollar strength against emerging market currencies. I don't have a trade on that at the moment. I'm just looking at that thinking, well, it wouldn't surprise me if it's context. Wouldn't surprise me if that drifted to 4. Okay, that would be a big round number that it could drift towards. But it just shows you what on earth it's been going on.
Okay, let's move across to Mexico.
So, once again, there's the same impact here. We can see that just, the dollar is rampaging against that Mexican peso, okay?
Yeah.
I thought we'd actually take a little bit of a pause where we were, but it's just not stopping, okay?
Well, that's that classic Dow theory. You've got your higher low, you've got the breakout, okay? The textbooks would say there's only one way to trade this, right?
Exactly. Maybe a little bit of a pullback, and then it gives you a chance to get
back
long,
in, as they say. Okay, so let's move on to the rands, South African rands.
So yeah, South African rand here in the weekly chart. We had a lovely bottoming formation there, okay? And on the lower time frames, there's an inverse head and shoulders there. Price rallied up to the 50-period moving average, which is the red one. And what my scenario was I thought it would drift back down to that blue 20-period moving average, form a higher low, and then move up and actually maybe give me a nice cup and handle formation.
Which is bullish, right?
Which is bullish, but ain't waiting. You can see that for yourself. It isn't waiting for me.
Yeah.
It's gone, and that's what happens,
There's
sometimes.
an old saying about that, but we better not say that on the camera. Okay, let's move on to oil.
Yeah, when I was here, what do you think of this? See, when I was here, I was saying that on a technical short-term basis, I could understand why people were technically long. But my view, and I talked about the geopolitical situation, lowering tensions in the Middle East, I felt that oil might get ready to roll over. We had there a couple of weeks back, that's a weekly key reversal pattern. To me, that's a very bearish signal.
So you've got a weekly reversal pattern on this bearish engulfing pattern.
Exactly, and that's. That's the kind of the parties come to an end for the thing. So once again, I'd actually like to see maybe Oil there rally, sort of drift its way up a little bit, okay, and then look for a sort of bearish formations there, up around towards sort of 69.70, and then I'd be looking to be a
So we
seller.
saw somebody write a report saying it was going to $100, but the technicals are suggesting that's not going to be the case.
That's it. You know,
anytime soon.
every time I come on here, I tell everybody you have to trade what you see.
Yep.
You know, I have to just trade what I see, and
Well, I know which
see
way
that.
I'd be now in that contract.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to gold. Again, this for me is the most difficult commodity on the planet
Yeah.
to trade. The chart, nothing works.
No.
Okay, I haven't seen
Yeah.
one person predict gold for years now. And obviously we've got this big billionaire guy who's put half of his wealth into to gold. What's that picture telling you?
Well, you know,
It looks more bearish than bullish to me.
to me, that would be my view, okay? You know, I put that little sort of kind of, I don't know, pink rectangle around it because realistically, for most of this year, price, I see that as just been bouncing back and forth. It's been undecided what's happened. What I'd see is that over the last couple of weeks, you know, we've broken and closed and held beneath that kind of that area that we're looking at, all right. And I see it on a shorter time frame. It's kind of coiling up. It's price is coiling up and getting ready to move. And so I'd be looking at, you know, if you're getting a break of that recent low, well then, you know, a move down towards that kind of 1280 level is in my book, you know, is perfectly possible. But as you say, gold is she's a little trickster.
Well, somebody said, I've read recently, gold is old.
Gold is old.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Okay, let's wrap up with your final slide.
Yeah, as always, you know, I say to people, you know, when I come on here and talk about it, that if they disagree with my notions, then they're very happy to come to London Traders Network. We sort of run events 6 times a year. Next one is 18th of July, normally the Cellar Bar of the New Moon on Grace Church Street. If they want to come and sort of disagree with my analysis, I'm always happy to hear it, always happy to hear alternative views.
On that note, lovely to see you, Paul. Thank you for your
Great to see
time.
you. Thanks, Moose.